Plan the road ahead. The session is not about any pleasure trips that I had, even though the picture you see is from a trip that I had a couple of months ago to my native Kerala. The session is about a much more important and interesting trip that we are all enjoying together, the trip of our lives. A trip from which we expect a lot of dreams to come true. A trip from which we expect a lot of happiness, a lot of contentment, a lot of surprises. But the sad thing is, majority of the people, when they end this trip, don't get what they want from this trip. That's one of the biggest disappointments that people in their deathbeds have reported. They say that we have been blessed with so much of fortunes and they did not take notice of it. One of the major problems or one of the major disappointments that these people have reported is the lack of planning that they had in their lives. So this session is my humble attempt to pose a few questions which I hope you would take time to answer, and I hope you would be very honest when you answer those questions, because the more effort you put in answering those questions and the more honest you are in answering those questions will really determine how effective the session would be. And I'm sure if you listen to the session completely and answer these questions for yourself, you'll get a lot of insights about your life that will help you to plan your road ahead. Let's begin. Before I start this presentation, I would like to tell something about myself, basically to build some credibility. So I work as an engineering manager in one of the biggest and fastest growing MNCs headquartered in the US. I coach, mentor, and help a bunch of engineers from the NITs, IITs, and all to do their best professionally and personally. So I have around 21 years of experience in the software industry, from being a software tester when I started my job to managing large, complex projects involving multiple teams across the globe. I also have been blessed with a few accreditations from famous universities like XLRI, institutions like ICF, and Mahatma Gandhi University. And I'm blessed with a wonderful family, Manjusha being my wife, and Devadatten and Sridatan, my lovely kids. So with that, let me post my first question to you. Now, I don't want you to answer the moment you see the questions posed. I want you to internalize. I want you to think about the questions and then try to answer after thinking about it for quite some time. Now, the first question I want to pose in front of you is, which of these do you relate to? And I'm going to show you 3 pictures. And I want you to select one of them which you feel relates to you the most. The first one is of a tiger. As we all know, the tiger knows what it wants. It knows how to get it, and it gets it. Yeah, it's not a cakewalk for it, but it knows how to get it and it gets it. The second picture, or the second animal that I'm going to show in front of you is that of a hyena. As you know, hyenas are animals which wait for big animals to have their feast. And if there are some leftovers, they would eat that. They just hope that there is some leftovers for them. And the third animal that I want to show in front of you is that of a donkey. The young generation might not be really familiar with this animal, but at least in my childhood, I used to see a lot of donkeys being used by the washermen, the bobbies, to carry the clothes around. The donkeys used to carry these heavy loads without any complaints. Maybe they had complaints, but they never showed it. They just continued living that horrible and terrible life. It made no attempt to escape from this particular environment that it had. Now, what I want you to do is close your eyes, think about these three animals, and try to relate your life with one of them. Which one of these lives do you relate to the most? I hope this session would be uploaded to some YouTube or some social media. In case you are watching me in such a platform, probably I would really appreciate if you can give your comments, your thoughts in the comments below. I hope you had enough time to relate with one of these animals. Let's move ahead. Now, the next question would be, which one of these animals would you want to live like? Do you want to live like a tiger who commands, who earns respect, who does what he needs to do and gets what he wants? You want to be that kind of tiger in your life? Or do you want to be a hyena waiting for the tigers and the lions to finish their meal and just hope that you have enough to survive? Are you feeling scared to go out and attack the big prey that you have in front of you? Or are you being too comfortable to move out of your current situation because of which you are comfortable being a hyena? Why, if you have selected to be a hyena, do you think you selected this? Or do you want to leave your future in others' hands, obeying them, living their lives, living their dreams, and most often at the end of the day, getting beaten up? Which one of these lives do you want? Again, pause this video, give me your answers in the comments below. Now, I believe that whoever is listening to this session is a tiger. It's not just this session. Whoever is alive is a tiger. Because for you to come to this stage of life, you would have struggled, you would have succeeded a lot of negative situations. You would have conquered them. Unless and until you conquer them, you will not be alive here. So I really believe that all of us here who are alive is living a tiger's life. But somehow you don't believe that you are a tiger. Why? You most often do not relate yourself to the tiger because probably of your upbringing. Maybe as a kid, you are told to just listen and obey. Don't speak up. Don't talk to your elders. Don't give your suggestions. Were you told that? Maybe you are told just to shut up and do what is told to be done. Or maybe you try to speak up, you try to tell your suggestions, and again, you are overpowered by those tigers. You are then accused of being arrogant or selfish or disrespectful to them. Maybe you want to be a pleaser. By pleaser, what you mean is you want to be in the good books of a lot of people. You're scared to speak up because maybe you fear that you might get overpowered by the tigers. Or maybe, as I said, you want to be in the good books. You want to be seen as the nice guy. Now, you might have a fear of the unknown. You don't want to go out and do something that is not very safe as per you. Maybe that's why you are not acting as a tiger in your current situation. Maybe you might just think, oh, let the others do it. Let them do it. Let them make the mistakes. And if everything is safe, I'll follow them. And that probably comes because of a lack of confidence in yourself. You might have something called an inferiority complex, which, I don't know, somewhere you picked up and it's staying with you. You don't want to get up and start taking an action because you believe that you cannot do it. You feel that others, everyone else, is much better than you. Or the last reason could be you are in a very, very comfortable zone. And unless and until you are poked, you will not get out of that comfort zone. Which takes me to the next slide, which tells you why it is the best time for us to live in this world. Most of us might not have seen any big calamities in their lives firsthand. You might have, but the, the chances of you witnessing a war or a natural calamity might be very less. Our forefathers, on the other hand, would have seen many in their lifespan. And they lived such a wonderful life. They succeeded in a lot of other things. And now, with such a great environment that we have around us, I think we are in a much better situation. The life expectancy is much better than probably a few decades ago. I think maybe a century ago it was around 30 to 40. Now it's almost doubled, 70 to 80. And that's because of the wonderful healthcare system that we have. We have not conquered all the diseases. We might have to be careful. We might have to wear masks, yes. But then we know much better about our illnesses than what we knew a few decades ago. And now, better education. Most of us are literate. Most of us are aware of what is going around. Most of us know what you need to do. That awareness has been brought about by the education that we have been provided. Now, we never had so much of opportunities open in front of us. Every day, we have thousands of opportunities in front of us. And that's because of three things. One is the connectivity. I'm speaking here from Bangalore, and I don't know where you are listening to me from. Maybe it's a completely different continent. And that's the power of connectivity. That's the power of social media. The world is such a small thing now. For example, I can talk to my brother-in-law in the US or the other brother-in-law who's in the northern tip of Europe much easier than maybe walking down to the other room and then talking to my wife or kids. Just a couple of seconds and I get connected to them. I can see them, I can talk to them. That's the power of the connectivity, the breakthrough that we have in connectivity, in communications. The other one is the exposure that we all have. Because of this connectivity, we are exposed to almost everything that's happening around the world in a matter of seconds. The information revolution has changed our lives so much. Now, because of this exposure that we have almost zero barriers to take up any opportunity. People watch out for opportunities across the globe in multiple continents. You're not limited to the village or the town that you are living in. You have all the opportunities in this world in front of you. The only thing that is lacking is planning and maybe taking action. Now, the barrier also has been broken across nationality, as I said, religion, race, sex, educational qualifications. Now we have CEOs who might not have passed their basic degree. They might, most of them are college dropouts, if you see. Right? So there is nothing that is preventing us from taking that opportunity and running ahead with that. Now, with all these opportunities, the next question I want to ask you, or I want you to ask yourself, is why are you not taking advantage of this huge ocean of opportunities? A few answers that I have got from a few clients that I've been coaching is maybe most of us need some kind of push for getting out of that couch, that comfort zone. Unless and until someone keeps on pushing you, hey, come on, do it, you're not going to do it. That's the biggest reason I have heard from a lot of people. And with coaching, I have seen them doing much greater things that they never even thought about doing. Even me, I never thought of doing a lot of activities which I'm doing right now, maybe a couple of years before. So that push, it's very common across a lot of people. Now, most of us have not really bothered to explore the possibilities. Yeah, they know it. They know, yeah, I can talk to anyone in this world in a matter of seconds. I can get connected to anyone through social media platforms like LinkedIn or Facebook, but they're not bothered. They are in that comfort zone again. They don't want to be in that great lifestyle. Maybe you have shells, and what I mean by shells are things that has got hardened over the passing of time, or every year that passes or every month that passes, that shell gets thicker and thicker, and this shell prevents you from going out. Maybe there are shells beyond which you have not bothered to take a look at, as we have this old story of a frog in the well. You have not bothered to go out. You feel that this is what the world is. Maybe there are shells which you believe cannot be broken. Maybe like the frog. It doesn't believe that it can go out of the well and then live a much bigger life. Or maybe you have a belief that, oh, I should not break the shell. The frog might be thinking, oh, no, I should not be going out of this well because it's all danger outside. Maybe that's why you're not taking these opportunities seriously. What is your reason for not taking an opportunity? Now, I would like you to review what we discussed now. I hope I was able to make you reflect on your current situation. And I hope I have motivated you enough to think about a desired situation that you want. I hope I have been able to explain a few of the possibilities that are opened up in front of us. And now I would really request you to take up these information that you have got and plan the new road that is opening up for you. Now, as always, I am there to help you. How? As I said, I have a vast experience in the corporate life, more than 21 years. I have seen how corporates grow. I have seen corporates kind of just dismantle also. Now, again, I am a certified professional and life coach and a mentor. So, in case you want any help with any of the things that we discussed, if you want more clarity, if you just want to have a discussion with me to see how you can have an enhanced life, please reach out to me. And you can connect with me by scanning this QR code, which will have my phone number, my website, and my mail ID. So scan this QR code and import my contact and connect with me. I hope the session was useful to you. If it was, I would really love to hear from you what good things you had from the session. I would also like to listen to what can be improved in my future sessions. So feel free to connect with me, and I look forward to hearing from you. I wish you the very best for your trip. Signing off, Aravind.